Let me switch up the game. I drink that cognac. Step back cause I might put it on ya. I go deep, so deep till you sleep. Count sheep, wake you up from...
Hey YouTubers, thanks for joining into TomsTube again for another awesome episode. This is a Game of Thrones review episode. We're looking at the mega trailer for Season 6 of Game of Thrones. Be careful for spoilers from previous seasons and for the coming season as well. We'll have a look at the trailer first and then we'll have a nice little chat about what's in store for us in Season 6. Check it out.
He's gone. Are you afraid? You should be. A face will be added to the whole. Everything they've taken from us, we're going to take back. Great game is terrifying. God has been given a second chance. There will not be a third.
Show them what the Lannisters are. What we do to our enemies.
That's all I think about. What was taken from me.
Winterfell is mine. I will see.
The real war is between the living and the dead. And make no mistake. The dead are coming.
Do you mind to step aside or there will be violence?
Choose violence.
As if I went to sleep for a year. And when I woke up, the world's fallen apart.
Okay, so that was the mega trailer for Season 6 of Game of Thrones, which airs in just a few days now. So I know I'm a bit late to the party, but better late than never. So let's break it down bit by bit. Okay, let's talk about how we ended things in Season 5. Jon Snow, mutinied by his own brothers at the Night Watch, left for dead. What's going on with that? Anyone who's a fan of the show, anyone who's a fan of the books knows that death is not dead in this show, okay? People have a nasty way of coming back to life, and sometimes a good way. And of course, Jon Snow, he can't go out like that, guys. Come on, he's not dead. Well, alright, he's dead, but he's not going to stay dead, okay? Spoilers have proved that he did not spend the entire season resting on his back, so try not to worry too much there. There are shots of Melisandre, you know, getting a bit mopey and questioning herself, her faith in the Red God and everything. And then you've got shots of Sir Davos and Ghost. And Ghost are guarding Jon Snow's body, along with some of the other Night's Watchmen that obviously have remained loyal to Jon Snow. There's going to be some things going down there, of course, but they've tried to keep it very hush, and we're not too sure what's going on there. Sir Davos, on the other hand, you know, he is going to make a big season impact, I think, with his storyline and his arc, so I'll explain more about that later. So we've got Jon Snow, we've got the Night's Watchman, we've got shots of Wun-Wun the Giant bursting through the gates, the wildlings are there questioning their faith in Jon Snow. Shit's going down, so, you know, it's going to be really interesting to see what they do there. I don't think if there's going to be a huge resurrection scene, which I think there might be for Jon Snow, I don't think it's going to be something that they'll do in the first few episodes. I think they'll at least, you know, hold that out until probably mid-season. So don't expect any huge remarkable things to happen with Jon Snow's character arc. That'll be a few weeks away. Let's talk about Dany. That's right, my girl with the dragon. Apologies for that. Last we saw her, Drogon is down for the count. He took her away from Meereen just when she was about to be assassinated by the Sons of the Harpies. He saved the day. That scene was epic! But, of course, he was injured in the process. So he's, you know, he's got the man flu. Alright, ladies, you know what I'm talking about. He's in bed, he's complaining, I'm not feeling, I think I'm dying. It's just a couple of scratches. He'll be fine in a day or two. But in the meantime, Dany is now prisoner of the new Cow's army, which is Cow. What's his name? Cow Joko? Nah, whatever. In the meantime, Dany is now prisoner of the new Cow and his whole band of merry thousands and thousands of Dothraki. And it looks like they're heading back to Vaes Dothrak, which we would know from season 1 of Game of Thrones. It's had a bit of a budget increase now, so it's looking a bit more grand and larger than we last saw it. But Vaes Dothrak is the capital of the Dothraki people. In the books it explains, and probably in the TV show too, that all the ex-Khaleesi's or widowed Khaleesi's of previous cows then go back, all sent back to Vaes Dothrak to live out their lives as spinster old women, I guess. I'm not a book reader. So Dany's heading back to Vaes Dothrak. She's in chains. She is a prisoner. The only way she's going to be able to get out of this is either to marry the guy, which we know she's done before and has worked very successfully, or she's going to have to wait for Drogon to come and save her again. Frankly, as much as I love Drogon and I love the dragons in the series, I really hope that it's not a case of that Drogon has to come and rip shit up again in order to save her ass. I really would like to see Daenerys actually do something on her own in order to win these people over. You know, I feel like the Mother of Dragons thinks it's great, but, you know, you gotta if these dragons die, then who are you? That's exactly the point that the trailer and the teaser trailers have tried to make. You are the mother of no one. The mother of nothing. You know, without her dragons, without her loyalists and everything, she might be in for a bit of trouble. We'll have to wait and see. Speaking of dragons, we've got Tyrion and Varys in Meereen, and they're doing the best they can do to keep shit from hitting the fan. So the Sons of the Harpies are still causing issues in Meereen. Tyrion's there, he's trying his best to keep everything under wraps the best he can. We know he was able to do it in King's Landing for a certain amount of time. Whether he'll have the same kind of luck in Meereen, especially without the Mother of Dragons herself, it's another question. We also get some new shots of the new Red Priestess who's been cast as well. So Melisandre's got some competition across the Narrow Sea in Essos. I don't think she will be met with open arms by everyone there. From what I've heard, I think Tyrion brings her in to kind of help, you know, increase the followers for Daenerys, because the Red Priests are all about Daenerys and the Mother of Dragons and the Bringer of Fire and everything. If you cast your memory back a few seasons, Varys actually, he explained to Tyrion that the reason for his manhood was cut off and he became a eunuch was because of a Red Priest's activities and sorcery and everything. So I think that's going to cause a bit of tension between, you know, our two friends Tyrion and Varys with the new Red Priestess in town. We'll have to wait and see. Things are getting so wild up that it even looks like Tyrion is contemplating setting Rhaegal and Viserion, the other two dragons, free. Don't know how that's going to go. There's a lot of fan theories to say that dragons and Tyrion may actually mix. There's a lot of fan theory to say that this could be the end of Tyrion. He could be shish kebabs for the dragons. He could fly away with the dragons. Stay tuned. Okay, let's go across to Braavos now. We'll talk about Arya. Still in the House of Black and White with the Faceless Men and Jack and Hagar teaching her how to be no one. things not going so well. Last time we saw her, she fucked up. She did. Now she's blind. And so that should be interesting, I guess. To see Arya hobble around blind for a bit, I hope they don't pull that off for like half a season, because that could get a bit tedious. As you can see in the trailer, things are a little bit more action-packed. The waif's going to give Arya some more hassles, as she always has, and I think there's going to be a pretty epic fight scene for Arya. She will get her sight back eventually. I really hope that whatever she needs to do in the House of Black and White, she gets done this season, and hopefully will start making her way back to Westeros to help her fellow kin. Well, you're not no one, and you can't be no one, so go be your own thing. Go be something awesome. Be the you you're meant to be, Arya. You're not no one. You're someone. You're Arya Stark. Remember that. The North remembers. King's Landing and the Faith Militant. So as we saw, there were brief glimpses. You've still got Marjorie and Loras Tyrell are kept in the dungeons on the High Sparrow's order. They're not looking too hot, but Jaime is back in town. All the Dawn haters are like, yes, we're out of Dawn. However, I hate to say this, but a new teaser that's come out shows a brief glimpse of Dawn. So all you Dawn haters, we're still going back to Dawn this season. Okay, get over it. But Jaime is back, and unfortunately he brings Myrcella's dead body, much to Cersei's dismay. We know that Myrcella's dead, we know that Joffrey's dead, we know that Tommen is weak as piss. Let's face it, they're all dead. All the Lannister children, incest children, they're all going to die. And it's very sad for them because, you know, aside from Joffrey, the other two don't really deserve it. They've been sweet as pie and everything. You need to be tough as nails, not sweet as pie, to survive the world of Game of Thrones. Cersei's pissed. She got a shitty little, lesbian haircut. She hates it. Things are going to go down now. I don't think she's going to roll over for the Faith Militant as much as maybe she thought she might have the previous season. And with Jaime arriving back in King's Landing, you're looking at the two twincest lovers back together, looking even more twincestuous than they ever have in previous seasons. They're mad, they're pissed, their children are dying, their hair's getting cut, they're losing hands. It's just not going well for them. So I think they're going to really bring it. You've seen a lot of shots of Jaime with battles. There's both battles in the north towards the river runs that he's being a part of in those fields with the red tents. There's also shots of Jaime with the Tyrell army, which is Loras and Marjorie's High Garden Ground army, actually on the steps of Baelor's Sept. So it looks like they're going to take some action against the High Sparrow and the rest of the Faith Militant to try and set Marjorie and Loras free. To wait and see how that goes. Let's talk about Bran for a bit. Last time we saw him was at the end of season 4. He's crawling all the way up to the three-eyed sparrow, and he's being told, you will never walk again, but you will fly. So now it looks like he's also had his hair did. Everyone in King's Landing and around Westeros, they're all getting their hair did. So it looks like now he's actually really been tapping into his Green Seer abilities and not just his walking abilities. He'll be able to see moments in the future, moments in the past, and moments in the present that are happening in other sides of the world of Westeros and Essos. It's going to be really exciting, I think, to see his storyline. I think it's going to be a bit of a dark horse of the season with his abilities to see parts of the past. Fans are going to be freaking out, especially with some shots from the trailer that look like they're from a sequence called the Tower of Joy. And for anyone who's a book reader or even a huge Game of Thrones fan and follows a lot of the fan fiction, the Tower of Joy sequence is a big sequence that pretty much will resolve whether the R plus L equals J formula that fans have been going on for years is true or not. We're only going to be able to see this sequence because of Bran's Green Seer abilities. The show's producers, David and Dan, said they're not huge on flashback scenes. They caved at the beginning of season 5 only for a short one, which I think was relevant. So I think the best way they're going to be able to tell some of the backstory that explains the unfolding current storyline ahead of us is through Bran's Green Seer abilities. We saw him seeing the Night's King, we saw him standing up. He's going to go all over the place. He's really going to make an impact on how the season flows and how the character development of some of the other characters, dead or alive, might actually unfold up until the end of the season. Really keep an eye out for Bran this season. Real dark horse. It's going to be very exciting to see what he brings along. Let's talk about Miss Sansa Stark and what's happening in the north. So last we saw her, Sansa and Theon/Reek were jumping off the walls of Winterfell into an unbelievable drop into what I'm assuming is the world's largest pillow of snow. But anyway, they survived the fall. They're now running away from Ramsay and the Bolton army because Sansa is the key to the north, and Sansa is the way for the Boltons to be able to hold the north. It looks like she gets away. That's the good news. Sansa's been through so much crap recently, you know. She's been raped, she's been beaten, she's been humiliated, she's been forced to watch the death of her family. Why she hasn't topped herself off already, I don't know. As you see her, she's back in Stark furs and Stark armor, and it looks like Sir Davos is actually going to be rallying around her side, rallying support of some of the other houses of the north towards the Starks, and that's all going to lead into this huge battle, which I think will be the season 9 episode, the Battle of the Bastards. Take in that what you will. It's just going to be huge, and I think what we were hoping to see in Dark Sansa last season, we wanted to see her really take onto her own and not be this puppet for everyone else's strings lately. This season, I think she's finally going to, you know, become the person she's supposed to be. She's the true wardeness of the North, the true name of Stark. She's going to rise and really take back what was taken from her, as she says. As is always with Game of Thrones, it's going to be a real slow start until we get to about middle of the season, and then it's just going to be bang, 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 bang. This season has already been promised to be one of the most brutalist seasons that we've seen, so expect a lot of sex and violence and disgusting torture and more kids being burnt on fire and shit everywhere. It's going to be really, really exciting to see how they go down this season. Okay, now I know that I've left some characters out. You've got characters like Brienne and Pod that we saw in the trailer. You've got Yara Greyjoy, which is Reek/Theon's older sister, who we haven't seen since season 3, I believe. I know that the Greyjoys are going to make a comeback in this season in some big way as well. I haven't read the books, so I'm not entirely sure, but I have had some spoilers. There will be some exciting times ahead with the Greyjoys, so keep an eye on them. There's a whole bunch of other characters that I've probably missed, but as you know, the world of Game of Thrones is so big and so vast that there's no possible way I could cover it all. So that's Game of Thrones Season 6, the mega trailer. The link for the mega trailer that was fan made is in the description, so check that out. The background music, I'll put a link to the guy who did the background music as well. His name, I've forgotten. I care for the little people. So check him out as well. He's done all the music himself, all the violin layers, as you can see in the video. It's really awesome to watch and really awesome to hear in full. I'll make another video next week. We are looking at episode 1 of Game of Thrones, airing next week. Happy Anzac Day to us. That's probably in poor taste. Keep warm because winter is coming. Thanks for watching. Make sure you comment about anything you liked about the video in the comment section down below. Make sure you share the video on Facebook. Make sure you like it on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're just awesome that way, because it's TomsTube and we're all awesome at TomsTube. Yeah. Stuff. Hey to the folks.
Let me switch up the game. I drink that cognac, step back cause I might put it on.